I recognize the gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Chair, I rise today to offer along with my friends from Pennsylvania, Mr. Thompson, and my friend from North Dakota, Mr. Kramer. This amendment will address an energy infrastructure issue that faces our nation today, as well as continuing regulatory overreach by the Environmental Protection Agency. We all know that the American shale revolution has dramatically improved our energy security at home and our economic opportunity for hardworking Americans. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and gas in the world, yet we are in the midst of new challenges due to a lack of appropriate infrastructure to bring those resources to our consumers. Also, the EPA has recently reported that methane emissions from oil and gas wells are down 79% since 2005, and total methane emissions from natural gas systems are down 11% since that same year. However, the administration intends to propose another regulation that only results in more bureaucratic red tape and higher energy costs. This does nothing to address the underlying issue. There is a better solution, which not only achieves lower greenhouse gas emissions, but also improves the outcomes for the American taxpayer. My amendment would increase the amount of funds made available to both the Bureau of Land Management and the U.S. Forest Service by $5 billion each to help expedite the approval of additional pipeline infrastructure that would more efficiently and more cleanly deliver our taxpayer-owned resources to consumers. This will ensure that the BLM and the Forest Service have the appropriate resources to permit rights-of-way for gathering lines on federal lands. This increase would be offset by a very modest reduction of less than 0.5% to the EPA environmental programs and management accounts. It is important that we safely bring these natural resources to market using the latest low-emissions, cutting-edge technology. Permitting and constructing this critical infrastructure is beneficial to the environment, since natural gas can be transported and processed and sold to consumers instead of being or flared, which creates the greenhouse gas problems. Finally, constructing more pipelines on our country's furthers our country's ongoing energy renaissance while creating more jobs and growing our economy. A recent API study that shows that over 1.1 million jobs on average per year and $1.1 trillion in capital investments will be generated by updating our domestic midstream infrastructure. So in a nutshell, my amendment provides 3 great outcomes. First, it reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Second, it provides critical infrastructure to safely transport taxpayer-owned resources to consumer markets. And third, it promotes good-paying American jobs for these hardworking American families. I also want to take a second to compliment and thank my friend from California, Mr. Calvert, and all of the subcommittee members and all the subcommittee staff for such a great job on this Interior Appropriations bill. I urge our members to support my amendment and to support the underlying bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.
From Texas reserves. Gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I want to make sure that everybody knows that this cuts 0.5% from the EPA to hopefully help stop them from pursuing a regulatory scheme where the industry is already working to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and then it takes that money and puts it into accounts where we actually achieve greenhouse gas reductions and we bring taxpayer-owned resources to market in a clean and safe and efficient way. So my amendment accomplishes all of those things: reduced greenhouse gas emissions, better jobs, and better infrastructure for hardworking Americans. So again, I ask all the members to support my amendment and to support the underlying bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman, Texas yields back. The question